Rallies celebrating Trump Derangement Syndrome were held nationwide as those calling for impeachment took to the streets to embrace the lies being fed to them by their congressmen and the blatant bias of the mainstream media.
Here in LA and across the country, activists, they're urging House Democrats to start impeachment proceedings, and they took their messages to the streets where Trump supporters, they were waiting for them.
We love our president. We think he's doing one heck of a great job.
It's no longer a question whether or not our president is a criminal. We know that he is a criminal.
George Soros-funded MoveOn.org was in full display nationwide.
The groups behind the protests are called Move On and By the People. They organize support from dozens of smaller groups across the country, including Black Lives Matter here in New York.
MoveOn.org, which is simply a Democratic political action committee, as all of their donations go directly to Democrats, continues to masquerade as American activism. George Soros has dropped millions on MoveOn.org, while donors like Daniel Tierney, representing Wicklow Capital, donated $666,666 in an apparent representation of satanic numerology, flying in the face of American providence and foundational morality. While Dustin Moskovich of the project organizing tool Asana, representing the totalitarian Silicon Valley Goliath, dropped $3 million on MoveOn.org in 2018. Asana describes itself as a team that comes from many of the world's leading tech companies, including Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Salesforce, and Dropbox. Silicon Valley owns the Democrats. Earlier this week, Democrats in the U.S. Congress, rather than address the carnage and impending disease entering the country via the U.S. border, or the totalitarian attack on free speech by Silicon Valley, or even the homeless epidemic in their own districts, decided to continue their mob mental illness by pushing for impeachment.
He's unfit to be the president. He has no moral compass.
Regardless that the numerous investigations which found nothing regarding President Trump and collusion with the Russians are essentially over. Viewer discretion advised. Anyone affected by watching mental patients wielding federal power should leave the room.
Volume 1 of the report outlines a sweeping and systemic effort by Russia to interfere in the 2016 election for the benefit of Donald Trump. It establishes that the Trump campaign welcomed the Russian interference because it expected to benefit electorally from information stolen and released through the Russian effort. It shows how the Trump campaign built the theft and dumping of Russian stolen documents into its campaign messaging and strategy. And as special counsel made clear, it sets out in great detail why the conduct in his report should concern every American.
Finally, the amendment finds that the president's assertion does not change the fact that the Attorney General and the Secretary of Commerce are sadly in contempt.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
In 2017, former CIA Director Brennan stated in an open hearing in this committee that Russian active measures to impact U.S. had been going on for decades. In 2012, then candidate for president Romney stated he believed Russia posed the greatest threat to the United States, to which President Obama replied, "The 80s called, they want their foreign policy back." In 2014, then Chairman, now Ranking Member Nunes warned of Russian malign influence campaigns. All of this acknowledgement of Russia and their intentions, and yet no response from the Obama administration. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories swirling around about Russia collusion. So let's just add this one. Is it possible that a group of politically motivated individuals at the highest echelons of national security decided to turn a blind eye to this activity, feeling that it would in fact enhance their candidates' chances of winning?
The Democrats assembled us today to analyze the shoddy political hit piece known as the Mueller report. It's written in the same spirit and with the same purpose as the Steele dossier, which was once championed by Democrats on this committee, but which they rarely mentioned after it was exposed as yet another Democrat-created hoax.
Time is running out for the Democrats to present a cogent platform, minus the pitchfork mob mentality, to move the country forward. As the first Democratic debates on June 26th and 27th draw nearer, they will have to answer real questions about national security, the economy, and free speech violations that many Americans want answers to. It's likely we won't hear the answers we deserve. John Bowne reporting.